Morning, guys. Well, here's what I kind of put together to boil our maple sap. Turn it into maple syrup. There's just a diamond plate door here on the front, kind of made out of concrete blocks set to the side of the hill. I got a little chimney on the back, so we're going to go ahead and get a fire started. Then the pans will drop in on top. We've collected probably about 50 gallons of sap this morning, so we're going to go ahead and get it boiled down and turn it into syrup. So here we go. It's nice when you have your own sawmill too, because you've got all the slabs and stuff off the sawmill you can use for this. Some of them don't burn real good in the wood burners because they're pretty thin, but we're going to want this fire going pretty hot, so that ought to work perfect. And this is the first time I've used this thing, so hopefully once we put the pans on, the smoke actually does go through the chimney. We'll check it. Put these pans on here. We've got the fire going, starting to heat up. I'm gonna get some sap in the pans. Alright, so I got the other one full already. What I kind of like to do is get these going hot, and then we're going to also run a little pan boiler and warm the sap up before we add it to here to finish boiling down before we take it inside to make it into syrup. Because if you add cold sap, a lot of the sap even has ice in it yet, to what you've got cooking here, it cools it down, and you got to get it heated back up. It's a lot better if you can get that stuff kind of warmed up. I'm actually going to go grab a pan and set it here and put some sap in it and see if that actually gets it warm enough to start adding. Then I don't have to use a gas burner at all. Okay, well, we're rolling. The front pan is obviously getting the most heat. You can see it's, well, you can kind of see from all the steam. It's rolling and boiling pretty good. The back pan is just about ready to start boiling, but I had to keep adding to my fire and getting the fire back underneath both pans. And then this is my warming pan up here. So what I'll probably do is do some transferring where I'll put that middle pan, ladle it into the back pan, and then I'll dump this warming pan into the front pan. Unless those pans both get to rocking and rolling and boiling, we'll just have to just see how this thing goes. I do know for next year, I'm going to take this whole thing apart and actually mortar all the blocks together and put a cap on the top. That'll prevent all this extra smoke from coming out. Like you can see, I got smoke coming up between the blocks here, which doesn't really bother me. But I'd rather it all boil out of the chimney like it's supposed to. Well, boiling the first batch of maple sap. Get ready to make some syrup.
That'd be good if they were catching down there.
Well, it's about 1 o'clock. So we got about 4.5 hours into this boil, and we're down to the last 2 pans. You can see it's really starting to turn that golden brown. We'll take it, just a bit further and then dish it out, and we'll have to go to the house to finish up the last part of the boil before we put it in jars. Okay, final stage. This is what we've got left of the 50 gallons. Pretty big pot, but I'm guessing this is going to reduce about 50% yet. We're hoping for just a little over a gallon. We've got mason jars. They're going to be boiling here in a second just to sterilize. I got 5. That's what I'm thinking I'm going to need approximately. And then we'll come over here, put a mason jar underneath that in the pan, filter it, put our lids on, and have homemade maple syrup. Okay, final process going into the jars. So far, 2 quarts, almost the 3rd one, and probably enough to fill a 4th one.